It's not a big deal, Lekunze.
Oh yes it is. A green classroom. A sustainable green classroom. We have a gardening classroom. We are gardeners. My students are very inquisitive. To instigate their curiosity even deeper, I bring a living plant kingdom into our classroom with members of each plant family represented. Our classroom is like a jungle, the greenest classroom ever. We do a lot of stuff in this life that just doesn't matter. For some of the things that truly matters, people have the tendency of underestimating them. Everything the Zero Garbage family does points to nature, environment stewardship, and healthy living. Hello there, friends of the Zero Garbage family. Always our pleasure. In today's video, we are going to learn why it is very important to teach with plants. Stay on, do not go away. Did you know that it was possible to grow a lot of your own food indoors? Your own potato plants, your own onion plants, your own beans plants, your own spices like oregano, your own aloe vera, and even your own pineapple.
I'm excited.
Looks like the one word for the level of my excitement is yet to be
Bored
invented.
around plants. Girl, what? I'm not bored at all.
I am not bored either.
I'm excited, but
I'm excited.
Let me sound like my daughter. I am excited, mommy. I am excited too.
I'm excited!
My students are excited, and so am I.
I'm not bored. I love plants.
I'm not bored. I love plants.
I am not bored either. How can someone be bored in an environment like this one?
I am very excited when I do this. I love plants.
I'm not bored at all. I love plants.
There's so many plants in my classroom. I learn better. I'm a visual learner. I like to see and touch what I learn. This is the potato plant. I am researching the nutritional value of the potato.
This is the oregano plant. I am researching the medicinal properties of this plant.
This is the bean plant. I'm researching to know more about the structure and the function of the bean plant.
This is a pineapple plant, a perennial native to South America.
This is the onion plant. Did you know it had cancer-fighting properties?
Accidents are part of life. At least next time you be more careful. Sure, just take it easy. It's part of life. These things happen.
I'm not sure now.
Relax. It is just human. Mistakes are part of life. That is part of how we learn from making mistakes. To err is human. It is only bad if you cannot learn from your mistakes.
This is the aloe vera plant. I found out from my research it's very rich in minerals.
Plants in our classroom, we can learn hands-on. How long does it take a plant to grow?
How long does it take a plant to grow? It depends on the plant. Different plants have different life cycles. The beans plant can take up to 2 months from the time it germinates to the time it starts fruiting. Like this, the potato can take up to about 3 months. And you can plant the aloe vera, and within like 3-4 months, you can start harvesting the leaves.
While some plants may live for just a few months, others could live for hundreds of years. Annual plants such as corn, wheat, rice, lettuce, peas, watermelon, beans, and peanuts germinate, flower, produce seed, and die within 1 year. Perennial plants go on from 1 year to the next, being productive.
So they all have different life cycles.
Okay, why does this one? Water this one.
Why is the leaf bleeding? Several reasons. It could be you are not watering them correctly. The leaf might also get old.
And let's do this.
This leaf might get old. We all have lifespan like me and you. From time to time you have to trim your hair, right? So this particular leaf can get old and you need to cut it off. But it could be you are not giving it enough nourishment. This is a spider plant. And what is this?
That is that aloe vera.
Aloe vera. What is this?
Tomato.
This is not tomato, it's potato.
That's potato.
Yes. What is this?
That's oregano.
Oregano.
You can eat those leaves.
Yes, of course. Does somebody know one medicinal value of aloe vera?
Someone who came with me.
Sunburn, little burns.
Great. Who knows any other one? Who knows what? The beans plant, right? What is one benefit of the beans plant?
We've talked about the benefits of aloe vera, of oregano. It's beans, one benefit to you. Nutrition, so all of them have their own different values. What are some of the growth requirements of plants?
Sunlight,
One temperature, sunlight, water, soil. What else? Nutrients, of course. What is in the soil? What is in the soil? Nutrients. What do plants derive from the soil? Oxygen, carbon dioxide, water, like you said, nitrogen. What else? Potassium. Plants. You're talking about photosynthesis. So plants use all of these to photosynthesize, right? Yes, all of them assist the plant with photosynthesis. Thanks and good luck. What do you see? What do you notice?
It looks like it got cracks in it.
Looks like.
Oh yeah.
John.
That's the leaf. You are looking at the structure of the leaf under the microscope.
AJ, in this one?
Inside our classroom under the lights. Why do we put them under these lights? Plants need light. How?
you get this chloroplast from light, and then you transform chloroplast into their food. So they need light to grow because they get their food indirectly from the sun or from light.
So plants manufacture their own food. Plants have chloroplast, which contains chlorophyll. And with the help of energy from the sun, they are able to use that chloroplast and the chlorophyll to manufacture their own food. Right? Now, can we leave these plants under the lights 24 hours?
No,
Why?
because like if it was like plants usually grow outside. So outside is like the daily routine. The sun come out, and then they have nighttime. They have nighttime over, and they still grow at night.
They need alternating weather conditions.
They need alternating day and nighttime in order to grow. Are all plants having the same routine of light and darkness need?
Some plants have long-time light need and others have short-time.
So we have to program this light to turn off after a certain number of hours. Why do you think inside our classroom we have to put the plants underneath light?
I think we have the lights for them to, we have this lights for the plants for them to manufacture their own food. Because without lights, they can't manufacture their food. And if they don't eat, they're going to die. So we need these lights for them to manufacture their own foods. So that
By what process?
By the process called photosynthesis.
So you're going to leave these plants underneath this light 24/7?
No, you program the light for some certain hours to be on and for some certain hours to be off.
Why?
Just like nature's, because the plant has to get light for some certain hours, and so for some certain hours also have to get darkness.
In correspondence to the natural routine,
Yes.
the night and darkness,
Yes.
the routine of the plants also corresponds to that light, night
Yes.
and darkness.
Yes.
Okay, great job. I teach biology and environmental science to a multi-level high school students composed of at least 140 all boys in 7th, 9th, and 10th grades. Each session encompasses at least 14 to 19 students in an inclusive classroom where student motivation is primarily derived from hands-on, inquiry-based, and project-supported learning. Our lessons mostly focus on how humans are impacting the earth, consequences, environmental justice issues, and designing practical solutions to ecosystem degradation. Inside our classroom, we have a basic plant kingdom survey variety of plants, each representative of one of the major plant kingdom groups. For a hands-on, Introduction to Plant Taxonomy. When I was in elementary school, science projects gave me reasons to want to go to school. I was a child who, being able to investigate things at school, was a great motivator, and so are my students. Hands-on activities motivated me to remain interested in coming to school and learning. I have observed the same tendency in my students. My students are very creative, love exploring, and have expressed great excitement for project-based hands-on activities. My students articulated that hands-on activities increases their focus, imaginativeness, critical thinking, creativity, self-expression, and teamwork spirit. Our eco-gardening project and in-classroom plant kingdom has and will continue helping to refine my students' creativity, enhance their plant identification and taxonomy skills, build organizational skills, unveil hidden talents, teach practical problem solving, collaboration, and most of all, introduce highly skilled trade for future job, food security, and healthy living. Our classroom is nothing less than a jungle. My students and I have a living ecosystem inside our classroom where we nurture plants in a self-regulated environment and watch the plants grow while learning and discovering in a real-life scenario, all inside our own classroom. The Eco Garden, a self-sustaining ecosystem inside our classroom, provides a first-hand exposure to nutrients and nitrogen cycling in an ecosystem while simultaneously sustaining our seed planting positive life outlook. For an excellent introduction to plant taxonomy, we have a collection of a basic plant kingdom survey living set with each plant representative of one of the major plant kingdom groups, including algae, the most important living thing on earth, liverwort, which all produce mucilage for water absorption and retention, the moss plant, which has no vascular tissue, the fern with a gametophytic and sporophytic phase, Selaginella with creeping scale-like leaves, gymnosperm, a seed-producing plant also called acrogymnospermae. The largest and most diverse group in the plant kingdom, the angiosperms, composed of about 300,000 species of flowering plants, dicot, which has embryos with 2 cotyledons, and monocot, which have embryos with 1 cotyledon. Our expanding plant family now requires a variety of plant stands to enhance organization and easy visibility. My students greatly love our eco garden. They are experiencing firsthand the power of plant nurturing in mindset transformation. Our garden has exposed my kids in a real-world application to the process of nitrogen and general nutrient cycling through an ecosystem and a gardener's positive outlook. The garden has created an additional fun way to engage my students hands-on and to instill an excitement about the relevance of what they are learning in our environmental science and biology classroom. Our jungle has also added beauty in our classroom and reinforced a connection with nature. After the setting up of our existing classroom greenery, I noticed that my students' engagement and interest in science rose significantly. The gardening project is one of the best decisions and choices I have made for my classroom. I teach high school biology and environmental science as well as middle school general science. And having a self-sustaining ecosystem model inside our classroom has been optimally inspiring to my students. Plant stands have provided an innovative way to organize our large collection of plants in our indoor greenhouse. Wall mount plant holders have been a great way to manage the limited space inside our classroom to accommodate our expanding greenery. Gardening has been scientifically established to have a significant positive impact on pupils' personality. Gardening is educational and can help children to develop the following life skills. Responsibility. As they care for plants, they learn how to care for other things, other people, and themselves. 2. Self-esteem. As they care for plants, they build their self-esteem as they accomplish their green goal of planting a seed and nurturing it to maturity, as well as sometimes consuming their own harvest. 3. Understanding cause and effect relationships. For instance, without water, plants will die. If weeds are not controlled, they will compete with plants and compromise the welfare of plants. 4. Motor skills. Gardening is a great physical activity that enhances the development of locomotor ability, object control, and body management as they carry tools, soil, and water around the garden.
Rotted and turned to dirt.
Discovery is the best way to learn.
So let's just do that. I won't let this one escape off of my hand though. And they're very
Scooping up the
sticky.
dirt,
If you
hunting
saw
for
what
worms, beetles, and
they
insects,
do,
placing the
actually,
seeds in the pots, and
can
pouring the
actually
water
go upside
all
down
engage fine
and
motor
they
control
tickle.
and muscle work. Gardening helps children develop important motor skills that will help them improve their academic performance, writing, cutting, and typing skills.
They were just trying to tell me.
5. Other benefits of gardening to kids include nutrition, good health,
Nice, you like it?
physical fitness, discovery, self-control, positive mindset,
This was a
love,
flower right
etc.
here. We got seeds. And that, a day before the winter, we can harvest these seeds and keep them.
Gardening reinforces a loving and caring personality. Natural vaccine. They think their hands in a garden and exposure to the bacteria in garden soil has been scientifically proven to have mental health benefits. Getting dirty in the garden can increase their serotonin levels. A soil bacteria called Mycobacterium vaccae is responsible for triggering the release of serotonin in our brains that controls human anxiety level. Serotonin is a happy chemical and a natural antidepressant that strengthens the human immune system. What else can we offer our children better than the gift of nature? A better understanding of how their bodies function and empowerment for a healthier lifestyle in a brighter horizon.
Catch you guys.
Catch you.
Okay.
Come on.
You guys are running so fast I cannot catch you. Okay, you win. You win.
You guys win. Come on.
You are running so fast I cannot catch you.
The human body was programmed for this. The human body was not programmed for this. Problem is, how do you say this to a child? By singing this in their ears? No way. It just won't get across. They have to see you doing it. Actions speak louder than words. Do you ever give your body a break? This is how Mother Nature has programmed our body to partly eat, partly starve, allowing Mother Nature sufficient time to heal itself. How do you transmit this message to a child? Model it. Show them how. Any food that isn't from Mother Nature can be very, very difficult to digest and eliminate from the body. How do you get that message across to a child? Our parents used to go without food sometimes for days. That is how Mother Nature has programmed our bodies to eat on one hand and on the other hand to starve. It gives Mother Nature the time to process the excess that you have accumulated in your system and get rid of the waste. Mother Nature needs a break. Sometimes our ancestors didn't find anything to eat. Their bodies naturally adapted to a routine of eating and starving, also called fasting, instead of constantly eating several times a day without giving the body a natural healing break. Too much of a good thing isn't that good. Even the greens have to be eaten in a limited amount and healthy routine. The speed of recovery from any disease or sickness is proportionate to what you are eating and how many hours of healing you are allowing your body between meals. The principle stays the same. Eat, but also give yourself some time to starve or fast. You can reverse diabetes, high blood pressure, cholesterol, cancer, and many more diseases simply by eating right. The power of natural healing through starving. Sanity. Eating right is more powerful than chemotherapy. It's just incredible. When you think less about food, you can be more healthy and get more things done. Starving or fasting kickstarts your internal cleansing. Do not let waste accumulate in your system. Starving allows time for Mother Nature to get rid of all the garbage accumulating in your body. A timeless principle of Mother Nature. Once you start doing these things, you will begin to wonder why you didn't start them earlier. It's my pleasure to share this with you. Make sure you also share it with someone that might need it. If you have any questions, you can ask them in the comment section below. A lot of plants in my class, my students tend to ask a lot of questions to satisfy their curiosity. I take advantage of that teachable moment to explain some difficult scientific concepts and reinforce the learning. All work without play makes Jack a dull boy. No. 1, 2, 3.
There's cold. They're both destroyed.
Championship basketball, folks.
Almost. Keep going. Wait, one more. Yeah, you got it. No, I hit that. Almost. No, Mr. Lekunze, I hit it. Cause look, if this was not here, I would have hit it. Okay.
It's not.
Did you like the video? Then do not go away without hitting that subscribe button. Leave us a comment. Give us a thumbs up. Share the video. And look forward to more videos coming up very, very soon. Thanks for watching. And see you soon.